Good morning, everyone, especially to you, ma'am. So, our topic for today is all about writing with academic integrity. So, before we start, these are our learning objectives. Number 1, determine the types of plagiarism. Number 2, identify ways on how to avoid plagiarism. Number 3, practice the value honesty in communicating ideas, informations, and options. And finally, number 4, construct an argumentative essays with source citation following correct citation format. So what is writing with academic integrity? It means that the author is writing using his or her own words and being sure not to inadvertently mislead the reader about whether an idea was the writer's own. So why the need to work with sources? Academic writing is not a simple writing task. It is more than expressing opinions, revealing facts, or even presenting results of research statistics. Academic writing demands from the writer or researcher the most inappropriate ways to show how the issue, claim, or problems where the utilization of cited sources contributed in the development resource to producing conclusions and recommendations. So, according to Trimborn in 2011, the integration and citation of sources gives your reader an opportunity to know that your work reaches wider audience in a wider context. In academic writing, you want to inform your readers how your citation of sources plays a vital role in making essays and researches meaningful and useful. Trimborn in 2011 identifies the common ways to work with the sources. To start with, number 1, to support position analysis or interpretation. Number 2, to assess the uses and limits of an analysis or interpretation. Number 3, to apply a concept to a new case or situation. Number 4, to change the terms of debate. Number 5, to uncover unenabling assumptions and its consequences.
Next is what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is a copying of words or ideas of another person and using them as your own. Some common examples of plagiarism include submitting a full text that is not your own, copying elements of different sources, and pasting them into a new document. Next is paraphrasing a source too closely. The lastly is leaving out an in-text parenthetical of footnote citation. The consequence act of copying the works of others without the benefits of recognizing the authors is a big mistake in establishing the truthfulness of one's academic writing. According to Suarez and Fick 2004, it is a sign of disrespect of other people's intellectual rights. However, information or ideas considered common knowledge may be exempted from the demands of source citing, according to Glenn and Gray 2013. Minech 2000 classified plagiarism to plagiarism of ideas when the writer uses the ideas of another person without citing the source, and plagiarism of language when the writer copies the word or the whole sentence verbatim without citing the sources. According to Trimborn 2011, identifies occurrences of plagiarism. This can happen when one buys a researcher paper, when one pays someone to write for her or him, or when one leads his, her, or paper to another. It can also take place when one reproduces photocopies a page or pages of articles from varied sources. When one does not correctly paraphrase a sentence or group of sentences, she or he commits cheating. Use the same sentences, structures, and synonyms of words is still an act of plagiarism. Other types of plagiarizing academic writing: word switching. The term clearly suggests that is done by similar copying the original words without using quotational mark to identify the quote source, replacing the word of similar meaning but maintains the original sentence's structure. It also termed as mosaic plagiarism or patch writing. Other definition of word switching is substitute synonym for many words in the passage but has not changed the structures of the text. He or she has used another person's ideas without crediting that person, and taking a sentence or paragraph from a source and changing a few words is still a plagiarism. Next is canceling sources. This type of plagiarism gives the writer a chance not to tell the source or citing source once through it has been used several times. For example of canceling sources is taking somebody else's ideas and putting them into your words without telling us where you got the ideas. A. Reusing your previous work even though your on the paper resubmission of your academic writing to the same person or another teacher and reviewing of the same group of ideas are still considered cheating. It also known as self-plagiarism. Other definition of self-plagiarism is turning in a paper for a current class that you already submitted as an assignment for a previous class. Plagiarism spectrums. There are 10 types of an original work. Include clone, submitting another words for words as one's own. Example of clone is downloading a paper you found online and other instances in which you turn in someone else's work, unalters and claim it as your own. Next is Control-C. Contains significant portion of text from a single source without alteration. Control-C. This occurs often when you could research from various sources when in fact all you are doing is cutting and pasting various sentences from various sources to create paragraph. Next is Find Replace. Changing keyword and phrases but relating the essential content of sources. Find Replace when you copy a sentence from a source but change a few keywords to alter it and attempt to make it your own. Remix, paraphrase from multiple sources made to fit together. This occurs when you attempt to paraphrase multiple sentences from multiple sources. Recycles. Borrows generously from the writer's previous work without citation. Recycle occurs when you use your own previous work for an assignment. Hybrid combines perfectly cited source with copied paste without citation. Hybrid is when you have some perfectly cited sources with copied paste that aren't cited. Next is mashup. Mix copied material from multiple sources. Mashup occurs when you pull copied information from multiple sources and mix them up together to create sentence and paragraph. Forced therefore error includes citation to non-existent or inaccurate information about sources. Error or file not found is when you attribute your information to a reference that does not exist. Aggregator includes proper citation to sources but the paper contains almost no original work. Aggregator is someone or something that gathers together materials from a variety of sources. Retweet include proper citation but release too closely on the text's original words and or structures. Retweet is similar to RSS feed, but instead of copying words for words, you have made some attempt to paraphrase the original sources.
Hi, good morning. My name is Carl Adriana Prusta and I will give of how to avoid plagiarism. Ito po ang mga dapat nating gawin kung paano maiwasan ang isang plagiarism. First is to recognize or cite the source of whatever is borrowed from others. Be it a single word, phrase, sentence, or even the whole articles. So it means ito po ay ilagay mo ang pangalan kung saan mo nakuha o sinong gumawa ng sources o sa iyong article. And second, quoting is duplicating the word or words exactly as they appear in the original source. And it is the best utilized if you want to capture the precise informations that might be missing if done another way. Ito po ay ang ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo makuha ang exact na information, gumawa ka ng ibang paraan. Next is, it can be short quotations of a single word, phrase, or a sentence. Next, it can also be long quotations of more than 4 sentences or a short paragraph. Next, direct quotation is done by enclosing the copied informations with quotation marks and with the names of authors and its copyright date. According to Campbell, Ballou, and Slade in 1991 as cited in Jacinto and 2010, direct quotations can be run and quotation, meaning the quotations runs within the text. The kind of quotations it is best used if the quoted lines do not reach in the 7th sentence. Set of text is a quotation is best used if the quoted lines do not reach in the 7th sentence. It is the writing na paragraph form intended from the original text in the line. Next, it is the applicable if the quoted lines are more than 6 sentences. Paraphrasing is restating the original text maintaining the same number of words, but it should be noted that using words with similar meaning or synonyms must not be used in restating the copied information. Next, summarizing is reconstructions of the original text using your own words in a concise manner. Next, the summary size should be 1/3 or 1/4 of the original text. And that's all for reporting today, and goodbye. Thank you.